loops it down there, and wide open. Then the ball is knocked loose. The catch is made, and then the ball is knocked out of his hand.
From Sachin Tendulkar to Virat Kohli.
You are lifting weights?
Correct. Does it not look like it?
Oh, the ball is free. Scooped up by Stroud. Circles, throws, complete on a busted play. Hutchinson.
It's Justin Herbert.
Hey, Buzz Lightyear.
I love this shit. I'm gonna smile all day. Hey, cause it's fun when I whoop a man's ass.
Slap heard around the world.
I know.
And I'm not even talking about
crazy.
Teair Tart. I'm talking about just the Chargers slapping the Chiefs.
Slapping the Chiefs in the ass.
In no way to take away from Chris Rock, but
Yeah, no, it wasn't as good of a slap. Oh, hey! Welcome back. I didn't see you there. Welcome back to the Bolts Podcast. My name is Nick Case. My pronouns are he and him, and I'm having a good morning.
my name is Aryaan Ori, and my pronouns are also he, him, and I'm having the best morning after having the best evening.
I mean, what could possibly be better than for the first time, honestly, since we've been rooting for this team, the Chargers knocking off the Chiefs in Sao Paulo, Brazil, last night, 27-21. You know, Aryaan, in Brazil, they're very famous. One of the most famous things in Brazil is the Christ the Redeemer statue. But on the other hand, as Kendrick said, beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching.
Crazy. That's a crazy start to the podcast. 7-match losing streak we just snapped, by the way.
We did.
I didn't even know it was 7 I mean, I've seen us lose how many times? Well, I've seen us lose 6 times, I guess. So
Well,
7
it's both of them in the last 3 years, and then the second game in whatever that was, 2021.
yeah.
Because believe it or not, Brandon Staley beat the Chiefs in his first go at playing the Chiefs. That's a real thing that happened. Yeah,
That's
incredible.
can't even remember what that name just like it's
I
weird
know.
to me.
I know. It's
You
just,
know,
it's
you-
like it doesn't even exist anymore.
You know, a fun fact is that Jim Harbaugh has never lost as an NFL head coach in the season opener.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. The
Fun fact.
Chiefs, before yesterday, the Chiefs had never lost an international game.
Welcome to Brazil.
Welcome to Brazil. Exactly. Let's get
We got
into
a lot
this
to
one.
talk about.
Let's get into this one, shall we? I kind of hate to say this, but I want to just get the football out of the way because there's a lot of like ancillary to the football stuff that we have to talk about. And I'll just preview that very shortly by saying, in terms of presentation and like quality and all of this, it was a jarring shift from like the IPL and watching the IPL and what you get with the IPL to what America and its television by extension has become in the past year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even like not watching sports like super regularly, and like the Dodgers local broadcasts don't have the same commercials as national NFL games. But anyway, I'll just suffice it to say it was a real wake up call. A lot of people say we're living in the worst timeline, but there are some ways in which we're also kind of living in the funniest timeline. Let's start like this. I posted a video the other day where I gave the Chargers 5 keys to victory.
Where'd you post it?
I posted it on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Go follow us there. It's popping off.
What are our handles?
Bolts Cricket Podcast. At Bolts Cricket Podcast. Or you can email us at boltscricketpodcast@gmail.com, which we've been asking you to do since the first episode, and we are on episode 20, and none of you have done it yet. So, just honestly, for any reason. Even if you make fake junk email, like if you like post a bunch of Ralph's logos and fake coupons and send them to us at boltscricketpodcast@gmail.com, I will really appreciate that, honestly, as an effort. That's kind of a 10 out of 10 bit. Anyway, I posted on TikTok 5 ways the Chargers can get the winning edge against the Chiefs. And I will freely admit that 4 of them were ridiculous, even though I think that one of those actually may have come true because Andy Reid was calling plays like he'd been hit with a horse tranquilizer. The actual way that the Chargers managed to find their edge was none of those. It was, in fact, the open hand of one Teair Tart, number 90 defensive tackle, which basically made, like, I'm not going to say all of the notable plays in this game, but a sort of unrepresentative number of big plays for the game, like an overrepresented, what's the statistical term? I don't know what it is. It made a statistically significant number of plays, just Teair Tart's one open hand. I think there were at least 3 or 4. The one that you're probably hearing about this morning is the open hand bat down of Travis Kelce's face. And I gotta say, we've had a lot of fans. I've seen a lot of Chiefs fans in the comments under our videos, in the comments on other people's videos. I saw the Chiefs fans in the commentary booth complaining about this during the game last night. And all I have to say is suck it. Teair Tart spoke for what I believe is a silent majority of Americans in smacking Travis Kelce in the face. And I think that, quite frankly, that's something that most of us have wanted to see very much over the past week and a half. And I think that this morning, America wakes up and it thanks Teair Tart for his service to America and its pop culture, for finally giving it back to Travis Kelce for never getting out of my face for 2 years.
I think nobody talks about the fact they weren't talking about the fact that the whistle had been blown. 2 seconds or so passed. Tart was like limp, basically, and Kelce was still pushing him.
Yep.
Like, get off me, bro. Like, get off me.
And it was an open hand. It wasn't like a punch. He smacked him upside the head.
You would see that all the Chiefs whiners, they suddenly started saying, "Didn't know you could slap somebody and not get ejected." I was like, now you're gonna cry because you lost comfortably. They never once had the lead in this game, and they're not used to that. Well, I guess they should be used to it.
They should be used to that. They haven't had a lead since the AFC Championship last year.
Exactly. So they should be used to it, but they started crying as soon as we lost. They were like, "Wait, why wasn't Tart ejected?" That was in the first half, bro.
I mean, there was something on Mahomes and Andy Reid's faces where they looked like they'd been screwed and they were really mad. And I just have to say that of all of the games, and I know everybody's like, the Chargers always choke against the Chiefs. You never get it done in crunch time.
Which is true.
Which has been true in the past. But also, the Chiefs did not have the refs on their side anywhere near as much as they usually do.
10 flags for the Chiefs, 71 yards, 6 flags on the Chargers for 49 yards. I mean, the number of false starts alone should really concern Andy Reid.
Well, but this is what makes me angry, is that if you've been around NFL discourse at any point in the last 3 years, at least around the Chiefs offensive line, it's been a massive talking point that Jawan Taylor, who was called for 15 false starts last night, false starts on every play. It is part of his technique. He tries to exploit something in the rules that allows him to false start. I don't think that they did anything different. I just think that the refs started calling penalties.
Right.
And just the looks on Patrick's here, if you need a reminder of the look on Patrick Mahomes' face, right there for you. And Andy Reid's face after that game, they were like, how did you not give it to us? Like, how that should have been all. And quite frankly, it was not the Chiefs' game at any point. They didn't lead the game. They made massive mistakes at basically every juncture. And were it not for a few ridiculous hero ball plays from Patrick Mahomes, honestly, I'll give it to you another way. The Chiefs only scored 21 points in this game. If the Chargers get 2 pick sixes like the Eagles did, it's exactly the same as the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, this was a bigger beatdown than the score suggested. The Chiefs just don't die. They're like Alan Rickman in Die Hard. Like, it's just like you're not gonna do it, you know?
There were a couple drop passes for us as well in the end zone and on a couple third downs that we should have converted, that I was like, okay, we would have been even more comfortable in our leads. I think I remember a third down Keenan drop, and I remember Well, we ended up converting that one anyway, but the QJ drop in the end zone as well was like, and I remember they were like, I think that we got a comment about this on our TikTok as well,
Yeah.
Bulls Cricket Podcast TikTok. Go search it up.
Go subscribe.
We got a comment about this where they said the commentators, or I think maybe I saw it somewhere else, where the commentators were like, "Oh, Herbert misses the pass." And it was right.
No, it
in
was right
QJ's
on his
hand.
hands. It was right on his hands.
And he
Yeah.
and it's like I don't.
There
I mean,
was
we'll get to that,
he
but-
missed one throw all night, and it was to Ladd, and like he
Yes.
might have missed it by 6 inches. Like it was
Was that
not,
the one?
It was.
That was the one where he like underarmed it, right? I think that was.
I think so. Yeah, he just overcooked it very slightly, and Ladd had just a bit of a step, but yeah,
I think we're thinking of two ones. There was one where he started running with the ball.
yeah.
And he was going down, and he just kind of chucks it underarm. And Ladd was wrong-footed, and it went way far to his right. And then the other one was when he overthrew it into the end zone. No.
Well, there was also the miscommunication with Kale Smith. That one was kind of funny,
was
where
lit.
he was
That
supposed
was
to run
really
the
funny.
corner,
That was
and he
so-
ran the comeback, and he won the rep, but he just threw the wrong ball. That was really funny.
You should have seen his face. He was absolutely flummoxed. He was like, "Wait, what?" It was so funny.
That was hilarious. But yeah, I don't think that the Chiefs were as in this one as the score suggested, and the mistakes not just on the penalties, but noted extremely hateable, ugly, fascist kicker Harrison Butker decided to give the Chargers a 2-score lead late by missing a nice extra point. That was at the beginning of the second half when the Chiefs took the ball down. So I have to be honest with you, man. There are a lot of very good teams this year, and there are going to be a lot of other defenses that have different strengths from the Chargers that can cause that team a lot of problems. I had a lot of Chiefs fans in the comments being like, don't predict a demise after the first game. And I was like, if you go back and watch the TikTok I made, I didn't say anything about future games. They just completely projected that on, but whatever. They're fucking Chiefs fan Trump supporters. They're used to psychological projection. Like, all these people are saying, don't predict the Chiefs' demise. And I'm not doing that. Again, as a Chargers fan, I know far better than to count on anything happening in the future because it's with this team. But just like on a very football level, I see grave concerns for that team because there are just the ways in which they were not good enough are really only fixable when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes who will do like crazy dumb flying through the air shit. And even that, like Patrick took way more hits than Herbert did. He had to scramble way more often. He was also being a stupid idiot and not getting out of bounds or on the ground. And as a result, like Troy Dye popped him right in the chest at one point just because he didn't get out of bounds. He just he stood there like a bonehead.
And the best part is there was a flag on that play, so those yards didn't count for anything either.
Yeah, it was a hold. Yeah, too. So it absolutely for nothing. And he did make a couple of circus plays, although the big pass to, I think it was Hollywood Brown off the scramble play where Khalil Mack was chasing him, that was on Molden more than that was on Elijah Molden more than anything else because we needed him to play deep center field there. If he plays deep center field there, that's probably a pick. Because you saw Hollywood had to slow down. It was a sitting duck. It was not a laser to him in stride. He had to slow down. So I watched that play and I was like, I can't believe you fuckers cut Tony Jefferson. Tony Jefferson would have played deep center field and picked that ball off, or Patrick wouldn't have thrown it and he would have gotten popped by Khalil Mack. And that was 4th down too, so it would have been turnover on downs.
Yeah. I mean, it was the other thing I wanted to mention was credit to the Chiefs that play right before halftime when they were scrambling to get those plays in, and then they ended up getting those 3 points. I mean, I'm glad that we staved off the 7 points, but because I don't think that was anywhere in the offing. But the 3 points that they did do, I would recommend just if you don't want to watch
the fire drill field goal, because the Chiefs didn't have any timeouts, so they had to run the field goal team on as fast as they could, and they did get it off in time, and it did go through. Problem is, again, fascist kicker couldn't hit an extra point. He hit a fire drill 59-yard field goal And then he missed a goddamn extra point and lost them the game.
Unbelievable.
Kids, this is why you don't become a fascist. This is what happens to fascists, and all fascists will lose, and in embarrassing ways. So take this as a lesson. Never become a fascist like Harrison Butker.
What are your thoughts on the extra point that they tried to when it was, I think it was 12-13 at that time?
Yeah. When they went for two?
When they went for two.
It was greedy. I didn't think it was a good play. That was the one that got knocked down by Teair Tart, right? The open hand
One of I think,
Teair
2 or
Tart
3. Yeah.
striking again.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a greedy decision. I thought that it wasn't very sensible. They wanted to tie the game. They thought they had all the momentum. And listen, so I understand how the Chiefs over the years, based on, the type of juju they've seen around the Chargers, would generally feel as though they're completely invincible and can do whatever the fuck they want. But they fumbled the bag a little bit. If they just, and some of it may have been because, look, maybe Andy Reid was like, oh shit, my fascist kicker can't make extra points. Maybe I need to just keep going for two. But once they missed that one, then they just kept locking themselves into going for two. And when they missed it, at a certain point, they found themselves down 2 scores. And the Chiefs can't win when they get down 2 scores. Like they're just cooked, especially the way that offense moves. Just like putting down the field, getting to 3rd down on almost every series. And if you're moving the sticks with a little bit more rhythm, that can often be a good thing because of the way it tires out the defense. But they weren't moving with rhythm. The momentum was just sort of jerking their way a little bit on every 3rd and in the first half 4th down. Right? It wasn't like there didn't seem anything like there was anything like methodical or sort of measured about what they were doing. It was just like they got to 4th down and Patrick played hero ball and somehow converted it. And I don't know that that's going to last for a full season. I think that if that is what this team is going to continue winning on, I don't know. I actually think we could see a precipitous drop off in their win total.
I agree. I wouldn't take. Here's the thing. Also wouldn't take this game as kind of what you were talking about. I don't want it to be. I don't want us to be the guys who are like, well, that's it. The Chiefs are done. No, forget about them.
Well, also the most Chargers thing ever would be if that were to come true, but then we were to lose to them in Arrowhead later this season. That would be the most Chargers thing ever.
Speaking of Arrowhead, you know what's funny? I don't know if you noticed this or not, but in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, it was supposed to be our home game, but we were getting booed left, right, and center, and I was like, "Wow!" At 3rd down, Chargers 3rd downs, I could hear the stadium just erupting, and I was like, "Wow, this is a significant disadvantage to us for this to be one of our home games, and for us to be kicking their butts from start to finish."
I wanna throw one more wrinkle into that one for you. One more wrinkle sing. That's very good. A significant portion of the crowd was booing the U.S. national anthem. And which again,
I told you that. I was the one who texted you that.
Yeah. Right. I totally forgot that. I'm sorry. I thought that might have been Marco. Apologies. I find to those Brazilian Chiefs fans who may have been booing the U.S. national anthem, which I'm not again in this day and age with Trump and everything and all this dumb bullshit, I'm not against. I just have to ask you, are you guys aware of what the Chiefs represent in American culture? You guys are, if you boo the U.S. national anthem while wearing a Chiefs jersey in Brazil, it's kind of the same thing as buying a Tesla and then immediately slapping on one of those stickers that says, I bought this before Elon went crazy.
It was sad to see because I was like, I really wanted us to have some kind of advantage going into the game, especially, but we didn't really get that. I also want to circle back to what we were talking about 3rd downs and the Chiefs. Yeah, their 3rd down efficiency this time was 5. They only converted 5 out of their 14 3rd downs, and that I remember. I think they were 0 for 6 at one point.
They were. They didn't convert. They did not convert a single 3rd down in the first half.
Yeah. So then in the next 8, they converted 5. I remember one of the commentators saying, the Chiefs defense has woken up, and that was in the second half. And the
Chiefs defense had one good series the entire game,
and that's the one. There was one of the few 3 and outs that we actually did. They actually did force the commentators were so hyped. They were like, the Chiefs defense is woken up. They're back. And it was so embarrassing because after that, it was Silent City.
Let's do this. Can we run down some stats and then we can talk about the commentators?
Please.
Oh man. All right, let's pull out the old scorecard ski over here.
The old scorecard ski.
The old scorecard ski. Patrick Mahomes, 24 for 39 for 258 yards, which is a good number of yards, but 6.6 yards per attempt, very low. Very, very low. And that's a lot of pass attempts for him at 39 pass attempts. So, and I believe he began the game, they showed a stat on the screen, he began the game 2 for 7, which was the worst he had done in terms of completions since Super Bowl 55, which, honestly, if you want to talk about a Super Bowl that this reminded me of, like, it was like that, because in Super Bowl 55, Patrick was just getting thrown all over the turf, and, like, he made a number of throws while, like, 90% on the ground and shit, and it was honestly, like, this game was kind of like that. Rushing, Patrick 6 carries for 57 yards. Everything else from the Chiefs was useless. Kareem Hunt was effective in short yardage situations, but for whatever reason, I felt like he was way better than he actually was. 3.2 yards per carry. So not doing much. Hollywood Brown led the Chiefs receivers. 10 receptions for 99 yards, though. That's a lot of reception. Like, that's not a lot of yards for 10 receptions. And Travis Kelce did unfortunately have a touchdown catch, but he also had a very key drop at the end of the game. He dropped the ball at first and goal, clear one coming right across the middle, hit him right in the hands. Yeah, so that was also great to see after he got smacked in the face. Just a great day. The open hand of Teair Tart made our weekend, man.
I do want to mention, just in case people didn't know, Xavier Worthy was ruled out of the game after the third snap, after he collided with Travis Kelce. Kelce pummeled him to the ground.
I hate to make light of injuries, but like Looney Tunes collision.
It was unreal. It was like
Looney Tunes collision. Like,
it was like unreal, and the poor guy was walked off. He was so disappointed, and I didn't see Kelce. There was not much remorse there. It was so wrong.
You should have your routes together as two pass catchers enough that you're not going to run into each other.
Yeah.
This is the NFL, right? I don't even think I saw that stuff in college.
Yeah.
On the Chargers side, Justin Herbert, player of the game, 25 for 34 for 318 yards, 9.4 yards per attempt.
Another stat for you. He is only the third quarterback in Chargers history with 300 yards and 3 TDs in a season opener.
As you mentioned, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So, yeah, massive game from Justin. As I've been saying to everybody, maybe the best quarterback in the NFL, probably the best quarterback in the NFL.
I believe we gave no turnovers as well, if I'm not mistaken.
No, not at all. Not at all. We protected the ball, almost took it away a few times.
Yeah.
Tyler Conklin had kind of a sloppy fumble, but Ladd did a good job smacking that ball out of bounds, even though he got a 10-yard penalty for it. Whatever.
I do remember who was the interception that happened that didn't happen. I remember I texted you about it.
It was Dante Jackson. I watched that play a couple of more times. I think the ball hit the ground. I don't think that they would have won that review.
Okay.
Even if it didn't, I don't think they would have won the review. Although I will say they only showed one angle of it, and it wasn't particularly conclusive. So. Yes. But the Chargers would have had all the angles on that, and they would have challenged it if it were worth challenging.
Fair.
The rushing game wasn't as good as maybe we would want. Omarion Hampton in his debut, only 15 carries for only 48 yards. I will say the Chiefs, the one thing their defense did do well was stop the inside run. I tend to think that given the ease that the Chargers had in moving the ball in every other way, the Chiefs were selling out by sending too much pressure for one, but just sticking too many guys near the middle, which was like anywhere on the periphery, be it outside runs or be it on short passes or balls down the field. They weren't covering any of that stuff. So it's disappointing for Omarion that I got such a tough day in his debut. But I also, with our depleted offensive line, and again, the Chiefs' defensive front they're by and large pretty good. I think we're going to be able to get something going with the running. Honestly, The one thing with the running man, and this is my biggest piece of criticism for the Chargers in this entire game, and it's something that I am particularly angry about, even if other people may not have noticed it. Scott Matlock is not fast enough to play the position of fullback. It is like I am devastated to say this because like I remember when the Chargers had Lorenzo Neal and how fun he was being the big guy running the ball and setting those blocks, but Matlock is not fast and athletic enough, and I was watching every single one of his plays, and I was like, "Get me Steve-O back, please, God! Just call the guy right now, fly him down, like get him, like fire him, get a ballistic missile and fire him into Brazil as quickly as you possibly can. Give him a parachute, and I don't know if he can survive the G forces of that, but if anybody can handle it, it's Steve-O. I'm telling you."
I was gonna ask you when you were mentioning this. How did you think Omarion Hampton did overall? Because he looked good to me. I mean, I know the stats kind of look pretty bad with 15 carries for only 48, but I think he tried there were a lot of inside runs that were, as you mentioned, stopped pretty immediately.
Yeah.
But what did you think about his debut overall? I know he made that rookie mistake where he cut us down.
Oh, I love that. I saw that and I was like, Omarion Hampton, you are a Los Angeles Charger. Like you could not have played for any other team doing that shit. Like you have gotten your first Chargers like chargering out of the way immediately, and I loved him for that. Maybe I shouldn't have been so happy to see that, but it just didn't bother me because I was like, if we're going to lose to the Chiefs on some bullshit, whatever. Like, it's not going to be this kid's fault.
It was at the stage of the game where it was like no harm, no foul. It's like it's just really nothing much came of it. I mean, thankfully, so it wasn't really a big deal for me. I thought it was funny that the commentators immediately seized on it and they were like, rookie mistake, which it was, of course. I mean, but even as a couch fan, I was like, that's a rookie mistake. But again, no harm, no foul. Go ahead.
I think the key to happiness as a Charger fan is being able to look at stuff like that and just give it the Larry David. It's just Like you can't overreact to it because these are the Chargers. That shit's gonna happen. It's you accept it as the price of admission. The one thing I will say about Omarion Hampton is that the Chiefs were getting him by stuffing the inside run and throwing like 7 guys on him. Like it was taking like 5-6 guys to tackle him. That's a very encouraging sign. It's not easy to rally and gang tackle quite as well as the Chiefs did yesterday, and I think when we go up against teams with maybe inferior run defenses, we're going to see more from Omarion. I got to be honest with you. I would like to see some more of Najee Harris.
I was going to say he literally only had 1 carry for 5 yards, but that was, again, an inside run, and he bulldozed through that Chiefs defense, and it was so heartening to watch. And that's all they really needed him for because, again, I believe we were going to mention this later, but we passed 59% of the time last game as opposed to our usual 55%, which may be contrary to a lot of what people think of us being a running team. But yeah, that was really heartening to see as well. That we only needed him the one time, and he is just a bulldozer. The way he plowed through that defense.
I think that it may have been injury related that we didn't see more of Najee Harris. He's, I think, a little bit bigger, and he's had a couple more years of NFL strength training under his belt that Omarion Hampton doesn't have. The one thing I'll say about Omarion Hampton, he's not so much of a like knock you over power runner, but I feel like his thing is more of having all the tools you need from an elusive back, but also just like he doesn't go on the ground. It's not like necessarily maybe he'll knock you up, but you're not going to tackle him. So I'm excited to see him in more games. I thought he did well in the passing game as well, not being able to contribute because you're being shut down in the run, but it didn't matter. He caught a few passes, and the Chiefs left him uncovered a few times, and he made him pay. So that was really good from him.
I also think, I mean, of course, Ladd had a decent game with 12 and a half yards almost per carry. 6 receptions, 74 yards.
Yep.
But I think it's really great and again heartening to see that we weren't reliant on him as we were last season. A little more we were. We had, a healthy amount of receptions for QJ, Ladd, Keenan, and the 3 of them combined got to about 180, 190 yards.
Yep.
Cumulatively, which was great to see. And they each had, I think, a total of 18 or 19 receptions. So it's great to see that.
It was excellent. Actually, Omarion holding both of his targets for 13 yards, which is good. That's 6.5 on what are effectively like run plays. They're just, run plays, but you throw it instead of a pass, basically. So that's really encouraging. Yeah, all three of our receivers were working really well. I think that this is exactly, to be quite honest with you, this is what the Chargers would have loved to have done last year if we could have kept Keenan. But this is because 2 years ago, Keenan was the same as Ladd, where he was the guy who always got open. And you can only throw so much double coverage on people. This is one of those areas where I'm especially excited to see what Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith are going to be able to do later in the season, because when you do some of these rotations and they're always trying to look for everybody at once, that's when a guy like Trey Harris, who's so dominant in one-on-ones, or somebody like KL Smith, who can win so easily with his speed downfield, are going to destroy, because the defense is not going to have if you're trying to cover Ladd and Keenan, or as I think they kind of need to start doing, Ladd and Q. You can't only put DBs on the field, right? You can't put out 11 DBs. So they're gonna have to leave somebody one-on-one or leave somebody open, and Justin's gonna find those guys. So this is the receiving core and the passing game, especially in a Greg Roman offense, the dominance and the ease with which they made their way downfield. Almost nonchalance, almost like workmanlike. It was a dismantling. So I'm hoping that we're going to continue to see that, especially next week against the Raiders, and going forward in general.
I'm as a Chargers fan, you're always nervous when we score on the first drive, because you're like, okay, well, that's as good as it's gonna get. But again, that same momentum, you're right. We were making it downfield like it was training day. Literally, it was like the easiest thing. We did not use Keandre Lambert-Smith yesterday,
except for the one play where that we were talking about earlier, where they threw the wrong route. He was he had a few snaps. It's just like, I was talking last week about how we lost Dale Von Campbell, who was so good playing receiver for us in the preseason, and how the Chargers receivers room is so stacked that there simply was not any room for him. You see that now with Trey Harris only having one catch and Keandre Lambert-Smith only getting one. I think each of them only got one target. We just have so much talent there now, not in terms of like a top level guy, but rather than bringing in DK Metcalf, we brought in 5 guys who can all really play and who we can rotate in and out of there all the time. I love this so much. I really, really do. I am so excited, especially considering that the Chiefs had one of the best pass defenses in the NFL last year. Although maybe not so much in the Super Bowl, but it was still just a really, really excellent performance to see from Justin Herbert and the boys.
And this is we're only talking about the offense. I mean, the defense, there's a lot to talk about there as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, starting with Teair Tart's
open hand.
Yeah, open hands.
Not one, not two, not three, but 4 times. I think it might have.
I think he batted 3.
And then batted one face.
Batted the best, the best of all of those. Apart from that, Derwin James with 5 tackles.
Oh yeah.
Gilman with 4 tackles. Cam Hart with 4 tackles. Elijah. It was a great showing on the defense. It was an even better showing on the defense, actually.
Derwin was flying, man. It's like he doesn't age. It's crazy. He was flying. I don't know what's up with him. Maybe he's like Benjamin Button or something. He's like getting younger and stronger every single year. He was everywhere. My only complaint with the defense was that one missed assignment. Other than that, it was they did basically as well as I could have expected for the entire game.
Which missed assignment?
Elijah Molden missing Hollywood Brown on the deep pass.
Oh yeah. The tackling looked a little, just a smidge rusty. But you know what?
Maybe a little bit, but also, first of all, they looked a hell of a lot better than they did against the Rams in the preseason.
Yes.
That's number 1. And number 2, I still think it was better than last year. I still think it was a lot less sloppy than we've seen in the past. And if it's going to get better from here, I really like the way things are going. The one unfortunate piece of news from the defense is that Denzel Perryman went down with an injury. We love Denzel. I hate that he's always injured. I hope that he'll get better. The one thing that I'm curious to see on that is whether or not Marlowe Wax is going to be active next week to shove his face into the Raiders' backfield, which I'm sure he will be eager to do if he's dressing for the game. So I'll be watching for that because certainly on the social media, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, I posted a video about Marlowe Wax. Bolts Cricket Podcast. People are very excited about Marlowe Wax, and I'm very excited about Marlowe Wax. He had over 100 tackles at Syracuse last year, and in the preseason, did not look much different as a player. Very much looked like a guy ready to rack up some tackles at the NFL level. So I'll be looking for that next week. I think it's time to talk about all the stuff off the football field, which in many ways overshadowed everything that happened on it.
You know what? I would actually push back and say, despite everything that was happening,
that's true.
We overshadowed.
It. No, actually, the Chargers overshadowed, but it certainly threatened to, and in ways that completely caught me off guard. I will start with my single biggest surprise of the night. I was really gearing up. I was mentally preparing. I was, in meditation and spiritual practice, in acupuncture and all of this. I was preparing to take the million hits that were going to be just having to hear about Taylor Swift all the goddamn time. Every single second I was waiting. I don't know. I might not have been listening closely enough, but I don't think I actually heard the name Taylor Swift said even once.
It happened once. It happened once. He said it under his breath, and I don't even know what he was referring to. I think it was when Kelce made that catch, not the touchdown catch, but he made another catch, and I can't remember what it was, but basically none.
And that was actually like kind of a nice surprise. Unfortunately, the horror that awaited us instead was something I never could have expected. So I guess worldwide this game aired on YouTube, right? Yes. I know there were different feeds in different countries. The American feed was hosted by noted internet jackass Mr. Beast, who thought it prudent to shoot a fan of the losing team out of a human field goal cannon at the end, which, it's so bad. I'm finding it more and more as I just kind of, learn more about myself. I find it so hard to actually root for other people to be in real pain, but there's a part of me that wishes that whole thing had gone wrong because I wish that Mr. Beast would have been sued to fucking high heaven for that shit happening on live TV. That would have been if they'd ended his career on that. Apparently he's like $50 million in debt all the time.
That's what he keeps saying, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing was the Chiefs lost, and the Chiefs fan that they had for the game was your regular fat ass middle-aged guy Chiefs fan that you're just not going to be able to get that much velocity on him as a projectile because he's so forgive me, but fucking, bloated ass fat. The Chargers fan who was there for the game is a woman. She is public. She is a publicly somewhat famous Chargers fan. Her name is Marianne Doe, and she's tiny. She's really, really small. She's not a very, and I'm really fucking glad that we won, because not only did she win tickets to the Super Bowl, but I would not have been excited to see what would have happened, because she could have flown, man.
You want to hear something about Marianne Doe? I've been hearing some people say that she's of course she's A, that she's a paid actor, and B, that she actually used to support a different team, which I can't remember right now, but she now is a Chargers fan. And I don't know, there's some mystery swirling around her Chargers fandom.
I'd be interested in looking into that for next week. I don't know. I've never had an issue with her. She just got famous because I can't remember which game it was, but she just kept going crazy. I actually think it may have been against the Chiefs. She kept getting featured on camera at the game, or maybe it was on the broadcast, and she just going crazy. But She clearly has some money because she was at that game in those seats that are like right next to the sideline and like the cabanas. Those things cost like probably you can only really buy them at face, and they're probably at least $1,500 a ticket. So I don't know, curious. But I don't think that she deserved to be shot out of a damn cannon. I don't even think that the Chiefs guy deserved to be shot out of a cannon. I would have liked to have seen, if they would have shot Andy Reid out of that cannon, that I would have been there for. But the field goal probably wouldn't have been good because he wouldn't have gotten over the bar, man. They would have needed like an actual dead ass cannon to get him to go anywhere.
Man, I can't. I've never seen Andy Reid with a smile on his face or any expression other than just like, So I really want to see. I would want to see his face actually animated when he's being shot out of a cannon.
No, I would like. What are you? What do you even do, Mr. Beast? What are you even useful for if you can't shoot Andy Reid out of a cannon? Like what? Why do we continue to have you as a piece of American culture? Anyway, let's go to the broadcast, dude. The rest of the broadcast. I'm going to take this accountability for myself. You can choose for yourself whether or not you want to say this. I believe I fumbled the bag in terms of the commentators because I at least had to me on YouTube fully available the Brazilian feed in Portuguese with the excellent Brazilian announcers. And I should have listened to the Brazilian announcers. I not understanding what they're saying is worth not having to listen to freaking Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner, who is like getting dangerously close to doing some Harsha Bogle bullshit. Like,
yeah,
dangerously close, except he's way less attractive than Harsha. So it's even, and his voice doesn't sound anywhere near as good. So
I mean, the number of times I heard we were throwing the ball a fair amount, obviously, as you do in football. But
and by the way, Kurt Warner, quarterback, whole job is throwing the ball.
Exactly.
Just to reiterate that was his whole thing.
And every time we'd run a play like that, they would be like, they look so disappointed and angry. They're throwing the ball again. You're throwing the ball again. What was it about that?
And he was saying it like the Chargers were cheating by throwing the ball. Like, you can't do that. You can't throw the damn ball. It's like,
yeah.
Well, Kurt, listen, I watched Super Bowl 36. I know you can't throw the damn ball, but Justin Herbert can. So,
there's actually a thing going around with that people are saying they want Rich Eisen removed from a lot of YouTube viewers wanted Rich Eisen removed from the broadcast. That's how bad it was.
You know what? I agree. And I have to say that was deeply disappointing for me. There's two main factors that I think led to Rich Eisen doing such a poor job yesterday. Number one, it's not his natural game. Rich Eisen is a studio show host, and Rich Eisen is excellent at being a studio show host. I actually think he's one of the best studio show hosts out there. But he's never, at least in my experience, been all that great at calling live games, which is a very different beast. In a cricket way, it's almost like Test versus T20, but like not even. It's like playing cricket versus playing hockey almost in some ways. Like in both cases, you have a handheld implement, but otherwise it's pretty much a different game. And I think number two is that he just, and maybe this isn't on Rich Eisen. Maybe this is on the NFL or on YouTube for trying to play to the audience, but absolute Chiefs homer for the entire game. And America is fucking tired of this team. I'm sorry. If anything, if their last two appearances and the overall reaction to them in football games has shown me anything, America is tired of the goddamn Chiefs and their goddamn vibe. And I don't think that like homering up, who knows? Maybe Trump called and was like, we need a Chiefs broadcast. I don't like the Chargers. They're communists like Zoran. We got to get rid of the Chargers. We're not going to have any Chargers fans watching the broadcast. And it's like, no, everybody, even like half the people who voted for you, dude, were rooting for the Chargers because like, Trump is one thing, but the Kansas City Chiefs are goddamn fucking nauseating.
I think as goes for every Chiefs game, anybody who isn't a Chiefs fan is rooting for the team that's not the Chiefs.
I had people. I had Cowboys and Eagles fans agreeing in our comments on it's great to see the Chiefs get beat.
It's a beautiful comment section.
We are bringing America together, guys. That's what we're doing. Politics can't. Taylor Swift can't. But you know who can? Us.
Of all the people to do it, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Of all the
Bulls
people.
Cricket podcast.
The football cricket guys. The guys who spent an entire podcast earlier this year talking about ass before wicket. We will save this country. Only because the rest of y'all couldn't get off your asses and do it for us.
We had to get involved.
We had to do it. The Cricket Intelligence Agency sent down the bat signal to our undisclosed podcasting lair somewhere in Los Angeles, California. Actually, I'll just go ahead and dox ourselves. We record this podcast in a tunnel 3,000 feet below Fred Rosen's house in Bel Air. That's a deep cut for all my LA urbanism people out there.
I didn't even get it myself.
Oh, but friend of the show, Marco, is going to fucking love it. So, recurring podcast villain who I had thought nothing of for the past several months, but Aryaan, you may recall the last time we played the Chiefs, the podcast after that episode was entitled Heidi Gardner's Self-Loathing. New listeners, if you're not familiar with Heidi Gardner, she's an actress who's on SNL in the one era where everybody hates it. And she's been on a bunch of other television shows. The one through line with this woman that I can give to you is that she hates herself. The last time the Chargers played the Chiefs, she filmed this obnoxious intro video that was very pro-Chiefs that was basically like, you just want to be us because we're cooler than you. But this time, Aryaan, completely unforced, I hadn't thought about Heidi in months. Like, completely forgot about it since the Super Bowl. Totally done. Moved on with my life. Heidi Gardner popped up on my screen again last night. And we're both actors, man. First of all, did you notice this commercial?
No, I didn't. I was so sick of Mr. Beast that I muted it every time it wasn't football.
Honestly, good for you, man. Good for you. Heidi Gardner appeared in a commercial. And I'm just going to pose this because we're both actors. Like, I'm going to pose the question at the beginning, why would you ever agree to this? She appeared in a commercial, aired multiple times throughout last night's broadcast, in which she was shown on a date with a bison with wings. That's not a joke. I will link the commercial in the description. A bison with wings, guys. A bison with wings. Nobody asked for this. We as Chargers fans did not spend all offseason calling up ad agencies, calling up agents and stuff like that, being like, we need to get Heidi Gardner good. We really gotta embarrass her. We gotta make her look like an idiot on national television. We didn't do any of that. She did this herself. Why would you ever agree to this, dude?
Money.
No, but Aryaan, for if your agent came up to you and they were like, we'll give you $50,000, but you have to be shown on a legitimate date with a platypus with a mustache.
My honest answer to that would be, when do we start shooting?
Dude, my honest answer to that would be I am rewriting. I would be like, when do we start shooting? And is there more than enough time for me to rewrite the copy in that time? Because I guarantee you, I can write you a cheaper commercial that is less embarrassing.
Oh, of course. I mean, I wouldn't like it, but if they're paying me $50,000, I mean, hey,
that's true. The Lil Dicky one was really embarrassing too. But
what did he do?
It would the buffalo with wings rapped at him and he was supposed to look impressed.
The most bizarre ads you'll see during football. This is why I don't pay attention to them, but I should start because I know you do, and I know you talk about them, and they're so funny if I could just actually pay attention, but I can't be bothered.
Like, dude, I'm like, there was just a point last night where I was like, how much money do we have to pay to get the Vadilal quick treat girl in America?
You mean Alia Bhatt?
Like, what?
Alia Bhatt, right?
Oh, I don't know her name, but
she's very famous. I think that's who you're talking about.
She is extremely beautiful, way more attractive than anybody that I saw on my screen last night.
It is Alia Bhatt. It is Alia Bhatt. Yeah, she's very famous. She's
Oh
like
my
she's like
God.
an A-list star in India.
I did not know that.
There you go.
Oh my God. Can we get her to do all the American commercials too?
She should.
She really should.
She should have done the platypus day, the bison day.
No, I would never do that to her. I would never. Only Heidi Gardner deserves that shit, and only because she does it to herself. But yeah, like, I can't believe, like, Heidi, please go to therapy. Just please, like spend like 10% less time on SNL writing jokes that people aren't laughing at, and go to therapy.
Oh, she got fired from SNL, by the way.
Oh, she did?
I don't know if she got fired or not, but she definitely left. Because they're doing a mass cast exodus right now.
Oh, what? Because everybody hates the show?
I guess. I don't know. I think they're looking for new talent or whatever. But yeah, she's gone.
All right.
So she doesn't even have that.
Yeah.
That's why she's doing the commercial.
Again, I have dignity, you know? I wouldn't appear in just any commercial, you know? Let's get into some of the cricket stuff. You know who else, Aryaan, would not appear in just any commercial?
Who?
None other than captain, my captain, number 96, Mr. Shreyas Iyer.
Go, Chargers, go! Chargers, go! Go, go, go!
Just a few spiritual signs that were peppered in throughout the night that we were going to win. This was my absolute favorite. Nike debuted like one of their big commercials for the beginning of football season, right? Showing all sorts of different Nike athletes. Who shows up? Like honestly, like 2 cuts after LeBron. Got a man.
Was it really? Is that
Yes.
true?
Yes.
That's what your post was about? I didn't
I will.
wait, why would they show a cricketer?
I am going to send you this commercial right now, and you can watch it. Oh, they showed a cricketer, Aryaan, because we are winning. That's why. Is because we are winning, and we are the ones who are going to fix America through this podcast. That's why they showed a cricketer. Is to show us that we are winning, and also to indicate to me that number 1, the Chargers are winning this game, and number 2, the Chargers and Punjab Kings are cosmically connected. As I've said. And by the way, the only way we can build on the Punjab Kings season is by winning 2 playoff games.
I was gonna say, I guess they're not cosmically connected to KKR because KKR has actually won a few IPLs. So
yeah, they're not kind of cosmically connected to KKR at all.
Although KKR like Punjab, actually, we do lose games the same way the Chargers do.
That I will say, yeah, the KKR have the records on both ends for losing a cricket match in the most innovative way, literally quantifiably, and both against PBKS. The one thing I'll say about the Chargers is that, like, we do have this amazing ability to infect other teams with, like, Chargersness. Like, there's a very famous Chargers loss in 2006 in the playoffs against the Patriots where the Chargers were winning and blew the game. And at the time, because as recurring podcast listeners know, I grew up in Boston. I grew up a Patriots fan. I didn't realize at the time, because obviously I watched the next week's game, but the Chargers completely infected the Patriots with being the Chargers, because the Patriots went up 21-6 in the AFC Championship the next week and then completely fucking blew it against the Colts. So
it's working.
It was like the only time ever in his career that Tom Brady 100% played for the fucking Chargers. It was amazing. Last thing I want to talk about. We had quite an incident this week in the Delhi Premier League. And I really do love these regional T20 competitions in India. So much fun shit happens in them. Just the funnest stuff. This came out of the Delhi Premier League, or should I say, the Digvesh Premier League. Recurring podcast anti-hero Digvesh Rathi has struck again.
He's one of the few people that were actually at fault, but I like him. I just like Nitz. I like Nitz a lot more. So
No,
yeah.
I know. I just like we might have to add one more award to the Bolties, which is asshole of the year, and maybe Digvesh Rathi asshole of the year. Like he is my favorite asshole in world sports. Like I fucking love this guy. He basically like pump faked Nitish, right, while he was bowling. He just didn't bowl the ball.
But you know what though? Nitish did this, and then Nitish goes on to do the same thing. But then Digvesh got pressed about it, which was like, you just did that, and now you're upset that Nitish is returning the favor.
I love this dude so goddamn much. Like we have the check, and then Nitish made 100, and he hit a 6 off him, and he did the checklist celebration. Like we have the checklist celebration. We have mancating. Now we have this. Like, I love this guy. I want this guy on the fucking Chargers, bro.
Who would have thought that the checklist celebration originally started by, I forget his name. What's his name?
Oh god, I keep wanting to say Fidel Edwards, but it wasn't Fidel Edwards.
No, it wasn't Fidel Edwards.
It was a guy who we can never remember the name of.
Yeah.
Kesrick Williams.
Kesrick Williams.
I was like Kendrick, and then no, it's Kesrick.
Yeah, Kesrick, whose career was ended by Coley, unfortunately. But who would have thought the checklist celebration would be like globally exported and used as like a screw you to every like bowler?
I know.
League. Like
it. I hope that Digvesh Rathi plays for 20 years. And just keeps escalating this shit. And like at 40 years old, gets in a fight with like two 20-year-old kids and starts pointing at them, being like, "Get off my lawn, you whippersnappers!" Like,
and then do the checklist celebration.
Yeah, checklist celebration on all of them. Oh my god! I like. My favorite thing about that is you just know that there were like two like 80-year-old guys in England being like, "We need to," but watch that, and they were like, "We need to take India back." And like, well, then like immediately like passing out due to alcohol poisoning and like, I don't know, eating too much pudding and voting for Nigel Farage too many times. Like, there's so many English people that would just be so offended at seeing that. And that's why like I want like
the checklist celebration,
just like any emotion in cricket whatsoever.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Any like shit talking, any like, you know, they would have called for Teair Tart to get hung, drawn, and quartered. Like,
yeah. Even
frankly,
Jalen Carter.
Yeah. Frankly, I think that like, especially if they have a helmet on, slapping people in the face in cricket should maybe even be encouraged.
I want to just, now that this came up, I just want to briefly, randomly, this is random, I know, because I just brought up Jalen Carter, but no one mentioned the fact that Dak Prescott spat in the direction of Jalen Carter before Jalen Carter spat at him. So I just want to put that out there for all you Carter fans that he was, I don't think, I mean, obviously don't spit on Dak. Like that's, especially when the referee's right behind you, but also Dak started it. So
I'll give you another angle to this one. You know what that spit earned Jalen Carter? A whole bunch of rest so he could take out all his energy on somebody much more deserving.
That's right.
Jalen Carter. I've been watching a lot of bike racing recently. Jalen Carter, he just decided to ride with the Peloton for a day, you know? Nice. He's going to go out into the breakaway against Patrick Mahomes. That's what he's going to do, you know, saving his energy. I see you, Jalen. I see what you're doing. Big respect, you know? And you got a nice good spin in on Dak Prescott, which we all want to see. We all want to see too. Good work, Jalen. Now go destroy this guy.
I just want to say there was one particular pass that Mahomes did complete yesterday, which made me realize why the Mahomes hype is real. I don't know if you saw, he was horizontal.
He was in the air. He was in the air. He was Supermaning it. No,
he was horizontal, and he lobbed it to, I don't remember who completed that pass, but it was a sight to behold. And I was like, okay, I see why he's so glazed. It's not for nothing, for sure. I mean, never mind the Super Bowl wins and stuff like that, but I can see that. I mean, he's fast, he's almost pinpoint accurate, and he's got those tricks up his sleeve as well.
Can I like throw the Mahomes glazing back into a box for you?
Please.
From like a film watching perspective.
Please.
Kind of leaving out his earlier career where he was uncorking some crazy deep balls to Tyreek Hill. A lot of what you've seen from him recently in terms of these amazing plays, I would classify as hero ball. And I wouldn't classify as he has a supernatural ability to make something out of nothing, but he is constantly forced to make something out of nothing. He's not a quarterback who really, it feels like, controls the game with anything other than his ability to like wow your face off and like wriggle his way out of just about anything. Like, he's Teflon. He's not a destroyer. I look at like Lamar Jackson. I look at guys like Josh Allen. They will fucking take it to you. We saw it against Lamar Jackson last year. But he just fucking beat us. Like, he just went out there and he fucking beat us. And it wasn't weaselly. He beat the crap out of us. That's what he does. Mahomes, like, it's like getting beaten in a lawsuit. It's like losing your football game in a fucking lawsuit. Because XYZ did the freaking Chewbacca defense and it, from South Park and like it convinced everybody. And, Patrick Mahomes' Superman heroics are like the NFL equivalent of the Chewbacca defense. But it working and like actually like the way the Chewbacca defense plays out in South Park, basically. You know whose opinion of Dick Vesh I'm really excited to hear?
Whose?
Is next week's guest, Mr. Shohei Ohtani, who will be appearing on this podcast to talk about the Delhi Premier League and nothing else next week. So, for Aryaan Ory, Keenan Allen, and everybody else winning alongside the NFL's 4077th team, my name is Nick Cates, and I'm saying, well...
I've got so much to say and so little time to say it. Great job, everybody. Who's got it better?